Welcome, deep divers. Today we're embarking on, well, a truly intense journey. We're plunging headfirst into the raw, unfiltered world of self-mastery.
Yeah, and we're doing it through one of the most impactful books we've tackled.
Absolutely. This isn't your typical self-help read, the kind with gentle affirmations. This is more like a gut punch of reality. It really forces you to confront your deepest limitations.
Indeed. We're diving deep into the pages of Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind, and Defy the Odds by David Goggins.
That's the one.
And it's not just a book, is it? It's more like a searing, unfiltered account.
Totally.
Of one man's relentless battle against a life that seemed designed to break him.
Yeah, and how he somehow forged this absolutely unbreakable will through sheer agonizing effort, really.
Exactly.
Our mission today, then, is to pull out the most potent insights from this extraordinary book. We want to help you understand not just what Goggins endured, which is staggering in itself,
right,
but the profound how behind his transformation. We'll unpack the surprising, often, frankly, horrific facts of his early life. We'll trace how his core concepts developed and really try to grasp what it means to wage war with yourself for, total self-mastery.
It's a story that really makes you question what you thought was possible about human endurance, about pushing limits.
Definitely.
So we'll explore his evolution from victim to victor, essentially, analyzing the very tools he created.
Tools forged in fire, pretty much.
Yeah, forged in the fires of his own pain and fear. Tools he used to push past what most people would consider their absolute breaking point.
And the fundamental question this book poses to you, the listener, it isn't really about becoming a Navy SEAL, specifically.
No, not at all. It's something far more universal and maybe even more challenging. It's asking, what are you truly capable of?
Right, when you're driven to your absolute maximum capacity.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's unpack this book right from the very start. Goggins opens Can't Hurt Me with this declaration that just instantly grabs you. He says he was born broken, dealt a bad hand.
Chilling words.
And as you read further, you quickly realize this isn't hyperbole. It's not just a dramatic opening.
No, it's a chillingly accurate description of a childhood that, honestly, it would shatter most people. His early life was a crucible, profound and unrelenting challenges. He recounts growing up with relentless beatdowns, the constant terror of physical abuse at home.
Just unimaginable.
And at school.
Right.
Tormented, constantly called these horrific racial slurs. The N-word, he says, more times than he could even count.
God.
And just pervasive racism that felt like a suffocating blanket. This wasn't just poverty. It was this deep, ingrained, smothering depression.
Living at the bottom of the barrel, as he puts it.
Yeah, exactly. With a future forecast so bleak, it felt, in his own raw words, fucked as hell.
Wow.
He describes it like quicksand, grabbing you, sucking you under, refusing to let go. And in circumstances like that, he points out, it becomes terrifyingly easy to just drift.
Yeah.
To keep making the same comfortable, self-limiting choices.
The choices that, as he says, are killing you over and over again.
Right. This foundational, unbelievable suffering shaped his whole worldview. It fueled his later kind of radical approach to life.
And it's not just his story, is it? He makes this argument that lots of us, even without those extreme circumstances, we fall prey to what he calls habitual self-limiting choices.
Yeah, we build our own comfortable prisons.
Which leads him to this really provocative statement, one that challenges the whole self-help industry, really.
Oh, yeah. He says motivation is crap.
Right. Flat out. And this is where the book gets really interesting, I think.
That's right. He asserts that fleeting motivation, those temporary bursts of enthusiasm we all get, or even the best self-help hacks, the pep talks, they're just superficial fixes, temporary.
Indeed.
Exactly. They don't fundamentally rewire your brain. They don't truly uplift your life or, provide lasting change.
So for him, the only way to genuinely fix that bad hand, to escape those miserable circumstances,
was to confront it head on, take full radical ownership of his reality.
Which meant, actively seeking out pain.
Pretty much. Literally falling in love with suffering, as he puts it, and through that brutal process, transforming himself.
From the weakest piece of shit on the planet into the hardest man God. His words.
Yeah. It's a shocking idea, isn't it? Loving suffering, actively pursuing discomfort.
It sounds almost counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Masochistic, even.
It does, but the book positions it as this necessary, brutal step for true self-mastery.
Okay.
He argues that genuine lasting change only comes through that kind of profound, often agonizing effort. He believes humans change through deep study, consistent habit, and powerful stories.
And his own story is the ultimate proof, I guess.
It's his testament, yeah.
So this incredible transformation, it starts with this stark, almost unbelievable look at his childhood.
Right back at the beginning, 1981, Williamsville, New York.
Which, on the surface, sounds like the perfect American dream town.
Totally. Leafy streets, nice homes, model citizens, doctors, attorneys, pro athletes living nearby.
But for Goggins, a corner lot on Paradise Road, he called it hell.
And this stark contrast, this juxtaposition, it's absolutely crucial to understanding the depth of his early trauma.
Yeah.
While all these successful people were living idyllic lives, Goggins' reality was just brutal, beyond imagination.
His father, Trinus Goggins, he seemed successful, right? An entrepreneur.
Yeah, on the surface. Owned Coca-Cola routes, built one of Buffalo's first roller skating rinks, Skateland, popular spot.
Skateland.
Even opened a bar above it, the Vermilion Room, the place to be in East Buffalo back then, apparently.
Oh.
That's where he met Goggins' mother, Jackie. He was 36, she was 19, fresh from a Catholic upbringing.
Quite an age gap.
Yeah. But this public success amassed a truly horrifying private life, a nightmare Goggins describes in vivid detail.
The book just pulls back the curtain on Skateland, that family-owned and operated dream cloud.
Yeah, dream cloud turned nightmare. His father controlled all the money, every single cent.
His mother had no bank account, no credit cards.
Nothing, no financial independence whatsoever. The family lived in constant fear, just walking on eggshells.
He describes his mother making dinner on electric burners in the back office.
Right, while his dad did the books, trying to maintain some semblance of normalcy amidst absolute terror. They were basically prisoners.
His mother constantly working under his father's watchful eye.
Even while celebrities like Rick James and O.J. Simpson were apparently hanging out at the bar upstairs. Crazy contrast.
And the physical abuse. It's graphic. He details this beat-down protocol.
Yeah, it's harrowing. Being thrown down, his father swinging a leather belt, a terrifying instrument.
His mother hitting a panic button for the police. But it was only temporary relief.
Exactly. Before the cycle just started again. But Goggins emphasizes the psychological torture, the anticipation. He describes lying naked, backside exposed, in a dark room, just waiting for the belt, never knowing when it would start or stop.
Oh my God.
That waiting, that unknown. He says it was arguably the worst part. The level of detail really highlights the depth of the trauma, how it just embedded itself in him.
His poor mother. Her life was just a lesson in survival, as he puts it.
Constantly trying to appease his father, navigating this invisible minefield of tripwires that could set off a beating at any moment, all to protect her sons.
The ear infection story is particularly vivid, shows the lack of health care.
Right, because his father refused to spend money on anything that didn't directly benefit him.
And his father's words, "I'm not raising a bunch of faggots," just horrific.
It underscores the toxic masculinity, the severe abuse, a deeply disturbing worldview he was raised under.
But his mother bravely took him to the ER anyway, risking a beating.
Yeah, a powerful moment. Doctor said if they'd waited longer, he'd have lost hearing in his left ear for life.
Wow.
Highlights her desperate maternal instinct, despite her own fear, and the silent, terrifying drive home afterwards, knowing the consequences.
And his brother, Trinus Jr., he reacted differently.
Yeah, Goggins says while he also feared their father, he kind of worshipped him too, was under his spell. He retreated, ignored the darkness.
But Goggins didn't. He says he always paid close fucking attention.
Absorbing every brutal detail, storing it away.
He escaped then.
Yeah.
It sounds chaotic. Started almost by accident.
Yeah, Goggins set off the alarm his paranoid father had installed. He went back for lunch, triggered it, and his mother just snapped.
We gotta go.
Exactly. Raw desperation. Then the car breaking down in the middle of nowhere.
Hysterical mother, payphone, calling her friend Betty.
Right, and Betty calmly guiding them. Finding a hotel, a Volvo dealer in Erie, Pennsylvania. Those small details make it so vivid.
Captures the sheer terror and uncertainty,
Yeah.
escaping with just trash bags of clothes.
A defining moment of his childhood.
So they finally arrive in Brazil, Indiana, at his grandparents' house.
After driving all night, yeah, a huge turning point. He was only 8.
Entering a second phase of life, free from the devil himself.
The immediate relief must have been immense. But this escape didn't just erase the scars, did it?
No. Freedom from his father, yes, but new challenges were waiting.
Right. Brazil, Indiana offered a different kind of challenge, but also maybe a little hope.
Initially, yeah. His mother found hope with Wilma Thurving. a carpenter from Indianapolis.
A new beginning, Goggins calls him, permission to exhale, a source of support.
He sounds like a positive force. They plan to move in with him, build a new life.
But tragedy strikes again, brutally.
Right before they were supposed to move. The day after Christmas, 1989.
Wilmoth was murdered, shot 5 times in the chest, kill shot to the head, in his own garage.
Oh, God. Just
devastating.
A double dose of death trauma, Goggins calls it. At such a young age, moving from one kind of hell to another.
Brazil became an incubator for post-traumatic stress.
He talks about watching the local news loop for hours, footage of his mom, himself ducking police tape, Wilmoth's body.
Just internalizing that trauma, layering new pain onto old wounds.
But despite all that darkness, there were some glimmers of light, right? Moments of resilience.
Yeah, a few. Like in first grade, he couldn't stay awake in school because he was working nights at Stateland, struggling badly.
But then there was Sister Catherine.
Right. Described as grouchy, but she cared about us, cared about me, saw his potential.
Spent extra time with him.
As much time as it took until he learned. By the end of the year, he was reading at a 2nd grade level.
It just shows the impact one person can have. Someone believing in you.
A recurring theme in the book, definitely. Highlights the role of external support and building that internal resilience.
But financially, things were still incredibly tough, even after escaping his father.
Oh, absolutely dire. They moved into this tiny 600-square-foot public housing apartment. Cost them $7 a month.
$7, wow.
Yeah. And his father sporadically sent maybe $25 every few weeks, child support. Remember, this guy made thousands nightly at Skateland.
Unbelievable. So his mother carried the load.
Totally. Worked a department store job, took college courses at Indiana State, relied on welfare, $123 a month, plus food stamps.
But they got disqualified because she owned a car.
Yeah. In a rural town with no mass transit, she needed it for work and school. The system wasn't set up for that reality.
So they found a workaround through his grandmother.
Right. Just highlights the constant, desperate struggle for basic survival and his mother's fierce determination. She wouldn't give up.
The mason jar is full of pennies story. It's small, but so powerful.
Isn't it? His mother, shaped by the Depression, always picked up change, a habit his father mocked back when they had money.
And now those jars were their only hope for gas money.
Driving home to an empty fridge, past due electric bill, that small habit born of resilience became a lifeline. Shows how small disciplines matter.
All that early trauma, the abuse, it had physical effects too, right? Toxic stress.
Definitely. Manifested as a severe stutter, hair loss, white patches on his skin.
Doctors diagnosed ADHD, prescribed Ritalin.
But Goggins clarifies, his problems were more complex than that. The constant trauma created this permanent fight or flight mode.
A high baseline of stress. He says it's no way to live.
No. But that constant state of alert, while damaging, maybe also contributed to his later resilience. In a strange way.
His coping mechanisms as a teen weren't great, though.
No. Predictably self-destructive. Acting cocky and brash, he says, but feeling very insecure underneath.
Cultivating an illusion of change without doing the real work. Cheating his way through school.
Yeah, this negative feedback loop, it all came crashing down during basketball tryouts.
Yeah, the ill-fitting uniform story. Humiliating.
Totally, like a Larry Bird time warp. He only made JV, his friend made varsity. A painful reminder that this failure was just a symptom of something else.
And that something else was the racism.
The palpable, outright racism he started facing in Brazil, Indiana.
The note on his desk. Niger, we're going to kill you. Misspelled but clear.
Chilling. And the principal's response, they don't even know how to spell nigger. Completely dismissive.
Left him feeling totally alone. Isolated.
Haunted by the question, who the fuck is out here who hates me like this? The invisible racism? Everywhere. A constant burden.
So he acted out. Tried to get a reaction from the haters. Seeking external validation.
Yeah, a shallow way to live, he calls it. Full of pain, no real purpose, heading for disaster.
But even then, he held on to one more dream. Becoming a pararescueman.
Sparked by that story of Scott Guerin, the skydiver who survived that horrific fall and went back to duty.
An ideal of impossible resilience.
Yeah, it helped me at a time in my life where darkness was all I could see, Goggins writes. Gave him something to aim for.
Which leads right to that rock bottom moment. Failing the ASWAB test.
Junior year, after years of cheating, crafting these elaborate schemes.
He had to take it alone. No way to cheat.
And scored a dismal 20 out of 99. Air Force minimum was 36.
The brick fucking wall called reality, he says.
Looked in the mirror that night, saw a low-budget thug with no purpose and no future, utterly disgusted, wanted to smash the mirror.
But he didn't. And this brings us to a huge concept in the book, the accountability mirror.
Yes. Instead of smashing it, he lectured his reflection. In the steamy bathroom. A spontaneous, solo intervention.
Called himself out, brutal honesty, acknowledged his past.
I know shit is fucked up. I know what you've been through. I was there, bitch.
Yeah.
Raw.
But then, the key shift. Nobody is coming to save your ass. Not your mommy, not Wilmoth, nobody. It's up to you.
Profound moment. He shaved his head clean, looked different, held himself accountable for the first time. A new ritual was born.
And this realization shifted his perspective on everything, including racism.
Totally. By choosing to live with purpose, focusing on his goals, studying, working out rigorously, the hate started to lose its power over him.
He saw the racists differently.
Yeah, he realized how uncomfortable they were in their own skin. He stopped valuing everyone's opinion without considering the minds that generated them.
Recognizing it's an easy trap, especially when you feel insecure or like the odd one out.
Exactly. Their insults, once so painful, became more fuel for the engine revving inside me, transforming negativity into internal drive. A powerful reframe.
So the book offers challenge, #2, the accountability mirror for you, the listener.
Yes, get out your journal or laptop, whatever, and write down in minute, unflinching detail all your excuses.
Every past hurt, every current challenge, every self-limiting belief, no generalizing.
Give your pain shape. Really sit with it, absorb its power, and then, as Goggins says, flip that shit.
Use it as fuel, raw, potent fuel for your success. Share it privately or publicly, #badhand, #can't-hurt-me. Empower yourself.
It's about finally taking ownership.
Okay, so after that accountability mirror moment, the transformation starts. But it's not instant, right? Not linear.
No, far from it. The book jumps ahead to this really humbling, almost stomach-churning period later in his life, post-Air Force.
He's nearly 300 pounds?
Yeah, ballooned up from 175, working this disgusting pest control job, early mornings, restocking rat traps in restaurant kitchens, true rock bottom.
He says he wasn't disgusted by the honest work itself.
No, he mentions embracing being latrine queen in boot camp, cleaning toilets till they shone.
It was his own decline that disgusted him, physical and mental.
Right. The descriptions are visceral. Dead rodents on sticky traps, skittering roaches raining down on him.
Sewing a sock into his pants so they wouldn't split.
Just highlights the stark contrast between his military dreams and this sorry reality, feeling like a quitter who had let fear dictate my future.
And that feeling connects back to an earlier setback in the Air Force, pararescue training.
Exactly. They found he had sickle cell trait during a routine medical check. Back then, it was believed to significantly increase risk during extreme exertion.
So the Air Force medically pulled him from the program.
Yeah. And at 19, he says he made a big fucking act of being pissed off, like his dream was stolen.
But inside?
Inside, he admits he was ecstatic. It was an easy way out. He knew he folded when faced with an obstacle. Used sickle cell as a convenient excuse.
Let fear win. Wasn't even close to mastering his mind yet.
A deep, unaddressed failure he'd later confront in the accountability mirror.
So the real catalyst for the next big shift came later, after he was out of the Air Force, kind of adrift.
Yeah, years later. Watching a Navy SEAL documentary, that's what truly ignited something.
The commanding officer's words resonated.
Led him back to the accountability mirror. Again, staring at that nearly 300-pound reflection. Painful. Unflinching.
Being everything all the haters back home said I would be.
Uneducated, no skills, zero discipline, dead-end future. Realized mediocrity would have been a step up, bottom of the barrel, but he was awake.
And then comes this almost surreal moment. The divine intervention.
Ha! Yeah! The roach infestation and the lunging raccoon.
Roaches raining down on him after spraying a nest, rushing outside for air.
Opens a dumpster, and this raccoon just lunges at him, hissing.
His what the fuck moment. A cosmic slap in the face.
Forced him to ask, was he willing to let his sorry present become a fucked up future?
The answer was no. He just quit. Right there. Didn't go back inside.
Nope. Walked away. And the very next day, fueled by a single chocolate shake.
He started training to become a Navy SEAL. An almost impossible task.
Brutal and immediate transformation. He knew he had to lose over 100 pounds in under 3 months. Insane deadline.
Running miles, Rocky soundtrack blasting.
Yeah. Going the distance. Imagining BUDS, cold water, Hell Week. He details the workouts, daily weigh-ins, the mental battle against plateaus.
Like losing only 1 pound one morning and knowing he couldn't afford that.
Right. His recruiter, Stephen Shaljo, saw that intense drive, believed in him from the jump. That external belief helped, confirmed his enlistment, set him on the path.
Which brings us to another powerful concept: stepping outside your comfort zone.
Oh, yeah. Goggins intentionally sought out pain, discomfort.
Like wading into that icy pond in Indiana in December, fully clothed, freezing.
He writes, "The pain was excruciating, and I fucking loved it."
Again, not really masochism, right? It's about building mental fortitude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Conditioning his mind to accept discomfort, push through it, training himself to tolerate what others couldn't, expanding his capacity for suffering.
So challenge #3 for you, the listener, flows from this.
Dig out that journal again. Write down everything you don't like to do, everything that makes you uncomfortable.
Especially things you know are good for you, but you avoid.
Then do one of them. Then do it again. Start small, gradually push the needle.
Making your bed, doing the dishes, running 2 miles instead of 1, then 5, then 10.
It's about identifying weaknesses, areas for improvement we often ignore, and deliberately turning them into strength through uncomfortable action, bit by bit, making positive change sustainable, building mental toughness.
Okay, so he miraculously lost the weight. Enter BUDS, Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training, and specifically Hell Week.
And this part of the book is just gripping, raw, almost unbelievable. He calls it medieval.
130 hours straight. Physical, mental torment. Almost no sleep.
Designed to detonate you, reveal your heart and character. Happens in week 3, when everyone's already aching, exhausted at the breaking point.
He talks about the infamous bell. Quitters have to ring it 3 times.
Yeah, then place their helmet on the concrete. A ritual from the Vietnam era to track quitters.
Turns quitting from a private failure into this public, humiliating declaration. Immense pressure.
But for Goggins, every clang sounded like progress. A step closer for those remaining.
He describes the initial adrenaline high of breakout, feeling almost invincible.
But quickly realizing the brutal, soul-crushing reality ahead.
And the instructors?
Yeah.
Figures like Psychopede and SPG.
Oh, yeah. They clearly relished breaking candidates, hosing them with freezing water, cackling.
Making threats like, oh, and you will quit. I'll make sure of that.
Chilling. But Goggins and his boat crew, especially Bill Freak Brown, they refused to break.
Brown's story is powerful too, right? Overcoming bullying, school struggles, getting bounced from BDS once, but coming back.
Yeah, a powerful parallel. Goggins saw him as the white version of David Goggins, a kindred spirit, someone he signed up to go to war with.
And this dynamic reveals a core insight about Hell Week.
It wasn't just about physical fitness. It was, above all, a mind game.
Designed to find the strongest minds.
Instructors picked and peeled away our layers, looking for any mental crack. Goggins and Brown became the pillars of Boat Crew 2.
Always at the front of the boat, where it's heaviest.
Refusing to let the bully gain any satisfaction. They even mimicked Psycho Pete's moves, refusing to let him break their spirit.
Knowing why they were there was key. Purpose kept them going.
Absolutely. Stay in the fight, no matter the agony.
Which leads to the taking souls concept.
Yeah, he describes it as your ticket to finding your own reserve power, writing a second wind, a mental tool.
For winning competitions, overcoming obstacles in life.
It's a mind game you're playing on yourself. Not about dominating others for ego, but being your absolute best when it counts.
Chess match, job interview, physical challenge, whatever.
You have to know why you're in the fight to stay in the fight. Ignore the weakened mind, the pain, the doubt. Keep moving forward.
So, emerging from Hell Week, he felt unbreakable. Found this inner beast.
Yeah. Thought he could tap into it whenever life went wrong. But the book quickly adds, if only.
Right. Reality check. Still face severe physical repercussions.
Monstrously swollen knee needing a Toradol shot. Coughing up brown knots of mucus for days. Collecting it in a Gatorade bottle.
Grim detail.
Learn that even if you're a bad motherfucker in Hell Week, the devil, and those instructors, branded me too. His mind wasn't fully mastered yet.
Just the beginning of that lifelong journey.
Realized he'd been selling himself short. The human body could withstand far more than he thought, but it came at a cost.
This intense experience then leads him into ultra running, which seems almost illogical.
Starting with the San Diego one-day race, jumped in with no training.
Just fueled by this desire for a new, even more brutal challenge, thinking he could just walk 100 miles.
But his motivation was deeper than just personal glory, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, after Operation Red Wings.
Right. The doomed mission in Afghanistan. Marcus Luttrell, the sole survivor. 19 special ops warriors killed, including 11 SEALs. Goggins knew the 4 on the initial mission.
Profound tragedy ignited a new purpose for him.
To help the families of fallen special ops members. The foundation pays for everything, preschool to college, books, laptops, vocational schools.
They act like interfering ants, getting deeply involved.
At the time of the book, 1,280 kids in their program. Astounding. This mission fueled Goggins beyond personal glory, turned his suffering into selfless purpose.
Okay, back to that 100-mile race. The breakdown at mile 70. It's horrifying.
Bloody piss leaking down his leg, liquefied diarrhea, intense hallucinations.
Seeing SPG's hard-ass nerds mocking him.
Body starved of potassium and sodium, dizzy, severely dehydrated. His wife, Kate, a nurse, knew it was bad, but not how bad.
He hid the worst of it. Knew she'd make him stop.
Yeah, refused to quit, which leads to another crucial tool, the cookie jar.
Not just a mental scrapbook, a cognitive reframing tool.
Exactly, a system to constantly remind us who the fuck we are when we are at our best.
Reflecting on past victories, no matter how small.
Studying harder for high school graduation, passing the ASVAB, dropping the weight, conquering his fear of water, BDS graduation, Ranger School Honor Man.
Cookies loaded with chocolate chunks, he calls them.
By actively recalling and re-experiencing those moments, the effort, doubt, overcome, exhilaration, they become an energy bank.
To push through present pain, drown out the negative self-talk, shrink time.
Turn each painful moment into a victory lap celebrating a different cookie, a small fire becoming an inferno, proactive self-efficacy building.
And somehow he ran 101 miles. 0 training. Under 19 hours.
A feat that wasn't a theory, I'd experienced it firsthand. Confirmed his burgeoning mastery over his mind. A whole new level was possible.
But the physical cost, severe. Rhabdomyolysis.
Rhabdo, yeah. Basically, muscles breaking down so badly they release harmful stuff into your blood. Kidneys get overwhelmed, can lead to kidney failure, even death.
A stark reminder of how far he pushed his physical limits, often beyond safety. To prove his point, achieve those breakthroughs.
Body screaming, mind refusing to yield.
This intense, near-fatal experience leads to challenge #8. Fix your failures.
Right. Perform a brutal after-action report, AAR, on your failures. No sugarcoating.
Write down every detail of what went wrong. Study it. Identify exactly what you can fix.
And this is a key schedule. Another attempt, ASAP. Apply lessons from the accountability mirror, cookie jar, the calloused mind.
Yeah. He emphasizes this life is all a fucking mind game. Realize that. Own it.
It's not about blame. It's about aiming for what you're willing to earn through honest self-assessment.
So despite the rhabdo scare, the injuries, he wasted no time. Next impossible task, Badwater.
The 135-mile race through Death Valley, he hobbled into work, called the race director, Chris Kosman.
Who wasn't impressed by the 101-mile thing.
No. Said he'd seen runners break barriers and still not be ready for Badwater. Goggins had to really convince him. Sheer audacity.
And the training regimen for Badwater sounds insane, barbaric.
Totally. On 100-plus mile weeks. Used his 16-mile commute as his run, often through gritty, dangerous streets at dawn.
Simulating Death Valley heat by working out in a sauna suit, multiple layers.
Yeah, 3 or 4 pairs of sweatpants, Gore-Tex shell, elliptical rowing machine for hours, heart rate at 170 BPM sustained.
Barbaric PT, designed to push his governor, his mental limit for suffering.
From 40% to 80%. Visualizing every obstacle, being ready to work through the pain, not just be immune to it, embrace it.
The race itself. Another brutal story.
Rookie started early. He started with Akos Kanya, the seasoned Hungarian runner. Let him pace initially.
But admits it was a bad call. Burned too much energy going out too fast.
Soon found himself alone, battling immense pain, blisters worse than expected, dehydration.
And then horseflies. Dive bombing him, biting, crawling in his ears.
A biblical last test for 8 miles. Hellish final stretch.
Despite the suffering blood blister like a hot air balloon covering his foot.
He powered through, hiking strong 15-minute miles often. Fueled by knowing the heat, his biggest fear was an equalizer.
Slow down the faster runners used to cooler climates, like Scott Jurek.
Right. He finished 5th out of 90 in just over 30 hours. Astonishing testament to his will, training, unbreakable spirit.
Shows the practical, agonizing application of his concepts. Pushing through the impossible. This leads to challenge #7. Reminds us of his journey from a quarter-mile run at nearly 300 pounds to running 205 miles nonstop eventually.
The core goal for you, the listener, to slowly start to remove the governor from your brain.
push just 5 to 10% further than your usual stopping point.
If 100 push-ups is your max, do 105, 110. Run 30 miles a week. Run 10% more next week.
Recognizing the body and mind can do far more than we think. Incrementally push that limit.
His relentless pursuit continued. Ultraman World Championships in Hawaii, raising more money for the Warrior Foundation.
Covering the perimeter of the Big Island, 3 days. Swimming, cycling, double marathon run.
Another extreme endurance test. He mentions meeting Gary Wang, who competed with only 2 arms.
Reinforcing his belief. Ultra racing isn't just talent. It was all about heart and hard work. Demanding more. He got hooked on that chase for growth after Badwater.
Always seeking it.
And during Ultraman, he had that brutal crash.
Yeah, borrowed bike's front tire blew, sent him somersaulting over the handlebars, shattered helmet, glasses, crash landed hard on his side.
Shoulder crumpled, face skidded on asphalt, bleeding profusely.
But he wasn't broken. Rolled onto his back, shocked, but nothing felt structurally broken. Reflects his resilience, his commitment to finish no matter the cost.
Then the book shifts focus, unexpectedly, to recruiting for the Navy SEALs.
A pivotal role. Admiral Winters personally enlisted him to address the dire lack of African-American SEALs.
Only 1% of Special Forces, despite being 13% of the population. Goggins was only the 36th Black BDS graduate ever.
Critical mission. The military, thinking itself a meritocracy, had ignored it for decades until the Pentagon flagged it.
And Goggins got unprecedented autonomy. Schedule, budget.
Rare privilege. He used his raw, unvarnished life story, all the painful details, to void all excuses. Deliver hope.
Wanted everyone, military or not, to know they could still become more than they ever dreamed. Shared his whole story so no one had a bigger excuse.
His mission was inspiration, beyond just recruitment.
And his recruiting strategy was unique. Intense.
Almost insane. Inviting students to train with him at 3 a.m. in freezing Colorado mountains.
Power hiking 14,000-foot summits, sprinting down. Hitting more schools, working out with sports teams till sunset, then running back into the mountains to train himself.
This addiction to hard work is presented as the only path to a calloused mind or self-mastery.
Contrasting sharply with society's quick-fix culture. Maximum profit, least effort.
Right. Which brings us to core concept 5, addiction to hard work.
Not just being busy, right? Embracing the grind. Consistent, uncomfortable effort.
Acknowledging that passion and obsession, even talent, are only useful tools if you have the work ethic to back them up.
And he also stresses scheduled, true rest.
Crucial point. Not just scrolling on your phone or staying at your desk. Truly relaxing mind and body. Phone off, computer shut. Hang with friends, family. Eat well. Recharge fully to get back at it.
Okay, the book then details multiple grueling attempts at Delta Force selection.
Where he repeatedly smashed physical tests, set new course records in rucks, pushed beyond known limits.
He'd even get intel on the secret tasks, like the 18-mile ruck baseline. Knew going too hard was risky.
But did it anyway, broke his own record by 9 minutes. But despite that physical dominance, he failed.
Overconfidence. Rule-breaking in navigation.
Yeah, getting off course, forgetting to check the map, taking roads that were off limits, a masterclass in learning from setbacks, consequences of overconfidence, not following directions.
He reflects on how his confrontational style, his raw material.
His ability to bring war and watch excellence explode small minds got him far, but also created needless enemies, limited his access to top SEAL teams.
That self-awareness shows his evolving understanding of a calloused mind.
Exactly. It's not just enduring pain, it's forging this unwavering mental fortitude, confronting discomfort, pain, criticism, setbacks without flinching.
Developed through consistent, intentional exposure to difficulty. Resilience becomes robust. Setbacks reinforce your capacity, don't derail you.
He didn't cry about being the only. He took action. Used prejudice as a dynamite to blow up those walls, became the best instructor, launched his ultra quest to revive his stalled career, transformed negative to positive.
But his health remained a constant challenge.
Second heart surgery. To patch that congenital hole. He describes being half awake during it.
Feeling the catheter in his femoral artery, camera down his throat, vulnerable, listening to the heart monitors, hoping for a someday when his heart would be whole.
The honesty about that fear is palpable.
Painfully, the surgery worked.
It did. First time, fully functioning heart muscle. But he was cleared only for non-deployable, non-combat roles. Continued recruiting.
But his mind, programmed to do work, scan the horizon, ask what's next.
Kept driving him, achieving so many rare feats, but at increasing cost. Eventually realized he was shredding his physical body beyond repair. Cemetery was next, harming himself pursuing an ever higher bar.
That realization led him to Joe Hippensteel, movement specialist.
Right. Goggins, with his tight hips, muscles seized from years of extreme exertion, couldn't even sit Indian style, knees near his ears.
But through consistent, excruciating stretching, folding his legs, taking more pain,
He found his powers back, healed his body, running faster than ever at 43, went from 8.35 pace to 7.15 comfortably.
powerful testament to adaptation, continuous learning. Even in weak spots, solution isn't stopping, but taping it up, learning to move on.
The book concludes with his retirement, Navy Chief 2015, bittersweet. Military was core to his identity.
Holds that unique distinction. Completed SEAL, Army Ranger, Air Force TCP training, 3 Hell Weeks, completed 2.
Shares updates too. Bill Brown overcame marginalization, now a successful lawyer.
And his mother, Jackie, complete transformation.
Right.
Master's degree in education, volunteers with the Domestic Violence Task Force.
Powerful stories echoing Goggins' themes. Perseverance, accountability, owning failures.
Goggins delivers a final, unvarnished message, cuts through the noise.
Our culture, hooked on the quick fix, life hacks, efficiency above all.
But self-mastery demands addiction to hard work.
He says, failure terrifies insecure people, friends, family included. Our success reflects their own prison, shows their self-limitations.
But he offers a hopeful twist. If they're truly the great people you always believe them to be, their jealousy will evolve, inspire them to change. Hopes the book does that for you, the listener.
And the ultimate takeaway, when you live this way, there is no end to it, no finish line.
He keeps setting impossible goals, knows the pain of growth confirms progress.
Can't be satisfied. Life's dynamic, either getting better or worse. His closing question, what if?
A profound challenge to you, the listener. Constantly push beyond perceived limits.
Become stronger, more agile, mentally, physically. Always embrace ignorance, be the dumb fuck in the classroom again. Forever seek growth.
Wow. So, yeah. Can't Hurt Me is definitely not an easy read. And this deep dive wasn't exactly comfortable either.
But that's the point, isn't it?
Exactly. Goggins pulls no punches. A visceral, uncompromising account of what the human spirit can endure and achieve when pushed to the absolute breaking point.
And the core insights, the accountability, mirrors brutal honesty. The cookie jar's power, stepping outside the comfort zone. The taking souls mindset. The calloused mind, the addiction to hard work and adaptation.
They aren't just abstract theories.
No. Forged through unimaginable pain, in the crucible of real-world suffering and triumph. Confirmed by a man who survived his own personal hell.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? This book lays out a path, not necessarily to become a SEAL or an ultra runner.
But for realizing your fullest potential, whatever that looks like.
It's about facing your reality, unflinching honesty, radical accountability, pushing past pain, even learning to embrace, maybe even love, what you fear.
It raises that important personal question. If one man, born into such horrific circumstances, could transform his life by embracing suffering, relentless discipline, unyielding self-honesty, what excuses are you holding on to?
What hidden reservoirs of strength, what untapped potential might you unlock by applying these principles in your own life?
Yeah.
We really hope this deep dive into Can't Hurt Me has left you not just informed, but well-provoked.
Yeah, stirred up a bit.
Remember Goggins' incredible journey? From childhood trauma to this one warrior constantly seeking new limits, challenging the status quo inside and out.
And always asking himself, what if?
What if you embraced the pain, pushed just 5-10% further, truly went to war with yourself? What could you become?
Powerful question to end on.
This has been The Deep Dive. Join us next time for another journey into being well-informed.